here we are making a little ditch where we're gonna put the fencing for the small critters. So we're gonna put a bit of it underneath of the earth, and then it will continue to more or less this height here. And then we will make the fence high enough so that the deers won't make it through. So we have to do now 40 meters of this ditch. We are already in the halfway point. It was actually easier than we thought. Sometimes something is easier than you have thought, but most of the time it's the other way around. But yeah, we have half of it now digged out. And it's not even lunchtime yet. The ditch is approximately 30 centimeters now. It's a shame I had to remove the mulch and the paper that I put here, but we have to put something or more mulch on top after we do the fence. The fence is the most important now, because if not, the deer will come and the mice will come and eat everything that I plant. It's just here by the forest, so I saw deer the other day just there. We finished the whole ditch around the garden in record time. So now we will put in the poles. I think we can start with the corner.
Esto va a ser enorme. Enorme. Esto va a estar que tira para arriba y cosa que es imposible.
Espera un poco a la vez. Es que ahora tiene el papel y todo eso. It was going all so well today, but now we came into a little bit of a problem because we are trying to make the holes for the poles with the auger here, but it's so thick, the clay soil there in the down there, that it's almost impossible to go through it. It is really hard clay. A manual auger is not very potent, so it's difficult to enter that deep down that it's needed to the earth. See, it's just so thick, this clay. I'm trying to dig this hole manually now, but it will take a very long time, and we have to dig 19 holes. And I was saying to Dad that maybe the best thing would be to just rent a good equipment, but it's not necessarily guaranteed that even renting would help, because the soil is so thick, this clay. Maybe the drill bit would also be stuck here.
Hay que después ver si está vertical, te subo la marcha. Venga, barro ahí.
Aquí.
Ahora mira. Allá te digo si va vertical o no. De momento está perfecto.
Esta masa es buenísimo, papá, para poner esto. Mira.
Y así un poquito para la izquierda y está perfecto.
At this point, this clay has some advantages because it's easy to get the pole stuck there with this clay. It's like glue. I'm just smashing it in there. So the pole, even though we haven't even put the soil up here, it's still standing there. This is like glue. Difficult to remove, but good to keep the pole in place. Here is a perfect hole. I think we found the right technique, doing it very, very slowly, just like a couple of centimeters every time. But I think this side is also not as hard, the clay. But you can see that water is coming up here. This ditch is completely covered in water now, so the soil is quite wet. And now when it has a place to get out in the ditch, it looks like this. Mira, esto tiene un pico, así que está recto.
Sí, perfecto. Vamos a ponerlo así, como está. Pero, así.
Así, ahora.
Ahí tiene más.
This is not going anywhere, this pole. But it might rot because there's a lot of water here. But it won't move, that's for sure. It's already stuck like this, with this little mud in the bottom. It's already stuck. Here it's much softer, no? The ground is not as clayey. It's drier too. At least the topsoil.
Nueve de 16.
This is the 9th pole. It's already the next day. You can start getting an idea of how it's gonna look. This side is already, all the poles are up here. That is removing some twigs there from the pole so that the fence doesn't get attached there.
A ver, ¿cómo ves?
Creo que un poco más al lado, ¿no?
Donde más centro, te esté más para trabajar.
Ahí, así.
Así, que te dé tiempo para poner la tierra.
We figured out that the best technique here is that Dad digs it out slowly and I take this to the sides, the mud here to the ditches. Then when the hole is done, you just drop it back inside. And then he doesn't even have to lift the mud out because it's very heavy clay. So we just do it like this, and it's a pretty good working technique. Sometimes it's really hard, the clay, it makes like these slices. Now you can see it has this is what I was talking about, kind of like a slice, like this. So I just pull it to the side like this, and then we can drop it back in the hole when the hole is done. So we actually managed to find a technique that works with our primitive tools. It's a two-man job, 2 horsepowers. And then we just scoop from the side of the ditches this terrain back there into the hole, and then I just stomp it so that it becomes like a thick clay so it doesn't move the pole anymore. So I think this technique has proven to be quite good. The heaviest part is actually to push the clay down there, because you have to push really hard and make it super compact.
Opa. Maybe come in black liquid. This is petroleum.
Yeah, we will find an oil well. Just doing the finishing touches. And now we have all, how many poles was it? 19 poles in its place. We did it, Dad! Yay!
Hurra, hurra.
Hurrah! 3 días. 3 days almost. Yeah.
No, 3 days.
Not 3 entire days, but we were working 3 days on it. Yeah. Dad is finishing up those corners. This is what we put there to make it a little bit more stable, and it also goes there in the ditch. We didn't manage to do the fence yet, but hopefully we can still do it today. It's getting quite late, but we will carry on. We managed to put up this one of the small nets, but now the pieces that we removed, they are so dry that they have become like stones. So it's difficult to actually put it back here. They're not fitting here anymore. So we just fill it up as much as we can. But basically this has become all tiny rocks from the clay. I finished putting the soil back here in this drain or in this ditch. But look at that. I don't know where this extra soil is gonna go. I pressed really hard and everything, it's quite compact, but still there is this much left. So these huge bricks of dirt, I couldn't find a place for them. But that is just one of nature's mysteries. Now it's time for the sauna. Bye bye. It's another spectacular morning here at Siskola, and today's plan is to be able to finish the 3 sides of that little fence that we haven't put in yet. But before that, I will go and enjoy a little cup of coffee to get started. Let's see if Dad has woken up already. The ground is covered with the morning dew. It is so peaceful here. I just love it. this is where the door is gonna be. So I was thinking of cutting here and then bend it in. So I think this is where I will cut it. Now I will try to bend it in so hopefully it doesn't break with it. Could make a nice seam here. Like this so that nobody gets cut on it. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah. That was the easy part, but now to put back these clay blocks that are rock hard, that is more challenging. Thank you so much for watching another Siskola video. I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye bye.